Okay, so today's deck will be looking at another one of the new cards from Phyrexia. All will be one. This time it is Vindictive Flamestoker. This is a 1/2 Phyrexian wizard for 1 red that says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on it. And for 6 and a red, a total of 7 mana, you can sack it to discard your hand and draw 4 cards. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each oil counter on Vindictive Flamestoker. So I've decided to slap this card into the mono red Storm Shell. This is a deck that tries to leverage mana production aspects and scrying and drawing aspects in order to take as many spells and put them on the stack as we can in mono red. So the ways that we do that is we have Birgi, who is able to do both of these things. Birgi for the creature side is the mana producing thing, which basically makes all of our 1 mana cantrips free. And then we have Harnfell, the Horn of Bounty, as a 5-drop that can give us the card draw that we might be lacking down the road. In the theme of adding mana, we also have Runaway Steamkin, the 2 mana 1/1 that grows by way of 1/1 counters each time you cast a red spell, and you can remove 3 counters from it to add 3 mana. So as we cast our 1 mana cantrips, Runaway Steamkins get bigger, and then we can reclaim that mana for use with casting other spells. Additionally, we can bank mana in Strike It Rich, and this serves a dual purpose because not only are we saving mana that we can use in later turns, but we're saving it as treasures, which means we can sack it for any type of mana. So our sideboard can actually have some other cards that are not red that we can use as payoffs. So, the classic Tendrils of Agony, Torment of Hailfire, and Jace is in here as well as a self-mill option in case the game ends up going that way. And so as a Storm deck, and yes, so we'll be getting these with our 2 copies of Wish that we eventually try to either bin and then reuse with Underworld Breach, or we just try to cast them from hand. And so I guess next I'd better talk about all these things here in the 1-drop slot. So to help with card selection, we're running 3 copies of DRC, Dragon Rage's Channeler. This is just a very powerful card. Makes it so that we can move lands or cards that we don't want off of the top of our deck. And we have Ancestral Anger as a cantrip, Crash Through as a cantrip, Renegade Tactics as a cantrip, and Warlord's Fury as the last cantrip. There's also Faithless Looting to draw discard, and then there is Strike It Rich, which I've talked about, and Vindictive Flamethrower, which has already been covered. There is 1 copy of Reckless Impulse in case we need a little bit of card draw to get us started and to set up a next turn. With that in mind, if we do get our Wish but can't kill the opponent, there are Galvanic Relays in the sideboard that we can cast to set up the following turn. And then there's our 1 of Underworld Breach that amplifies everything that we've played thus far this game. Because once this comes down, then all the 1 mana cantrips that we've casted over the course of the game become recastable. So our things like Strike It Rich can make a token, and assuming we have Birgi on board, can start making mana. Or if we have Runaway Steamkin, those can go towards mana. And, all these different cantrips can be amplified if we have Underworld Breach, and we can reuse them. Basically, the name of this game is to cast a bunch of spells once we have a ball rolling, and then wish for one of our finishers. There are a number of cool ways that we can finish the game. Grape Shot and Tendrils of Agony are the classic Storm payoffs in Historic, which basically do involve targeting your opponent. And so if your opponent has something that prevents you from targeting them, such as a Leyline of Sanctity, then we can... Well, actually, I forgot to mention that Aetherflux Reservoir is also in here. This is another targeting one. In case, for some reason, we can't get a Grape Shot or Tendrils of Agony off, we can put out an Aetherflux Reservoir, gain a bunch of life, and then eventually kill our opponent. So, if they Teferi's Protection themselves, we can store up a bunch of life in Reservoir and then kill them the next turn. And then the other things that we can do if there is no way to target our opponent is we can drop a Jace and then just draw the rest of our deck and win on that turn, or we can cast a Torment of Hailfire that will cause our opponent to lose life without them targeting. Or at the very least, it will drain out their whole deck. This is going to require us ramping quite a bit into using Runaway Steamkins to just store a bunch of mana, but that is very, very possible. So this is the deck in its essence. You'll notice we're running only 20 mountains. This is just so that we can get a few mountains to start us off the game, and then we want to start scrying through the rest of them as much as possible with DRC, or we just want to draw them as we go. So this is going to have some long combo turns as we just try to cast as many spells as we can and kill our opponent. Let's see how the games go. Okay, we're here in round 1. I accidentally recorded a video before this in the play queue where we did in fact combo off and kill one of the default decks. But here we are in ranked, giving it a try here. This hand, while having lands and things to cast with them, it does not really move us towards our combo, so I'm going to mull. Now here is a bit better. The cantrips are here, the mana with Steamkin is here, and the mana through Strike It Rich is here. I think I'm going to keep this and then bin Strike It Rich because this deck doesn't really need to ramp really more than it already has here. Alright. So we're going to cast the Steamkin on 2, and then it's going to be attempting to draw into our end game. So here is Steamkin. Steamkin will be able to attack in eventually. Okay, so this is Kiora ramp. I can Ancestral Anger a little bit to try to make Steamkin bigger. Okay, we do get the Flamestoker this turn, which is really good. This is our card draw piece. So we can probably get going here in one of the next turns. So I'm going to make the Steamkin a little bigger. We have another Flamestoker here. I can make Steamkin big enough to kill Kiora, which is absolutely what I want to do here. So I will go ahead and send this at her. Now I can use my cards here to start getting a bunch of Flamestoker oil counters onto the battlefield. We can cantrip a little bit as well. The DRC is really huge. I want DRC out first to start taking use of the Surveil. And now I'll probably want to wait one turn here just so that I have the Steamkin around. But we are looking pretty good. Opponent may not have anything to do here. And they just pass back. So we have our Wish in hand now. I will lead on Warlord's Fury, trying to find something, and then it looks like we're going to go until we run into a land or something, and then we'll use Vindictive Flamethrower to keep us going. So we get a second DRC. That's something at the very least. So now I am going to... I think I'm going to go ahead and cast... No, I'm going to get the Flamestoker going. I was thinking about casting Wish just to get... and to cheapen my Flamestoker, but that's okay. I don't think I need to do that. Okay, so this is pretty good. Now we're going to start producing mana. We also have Underworld Breach to get going with 7 cards in our graveyard. I will keep the Flamestoker in hand, I think. If I keep this Flamestoker in hand... Yeah, I will try to do it. I think I can just barely get there with Steamkin. Okay, so let's make some mana. Cast a Flamestoker. Here is Crash Through. Okay, get rid of that. And we need to draw into a spell, hopefully. Reckless Impulse is perfect. Surveil this. Surveil that. Okay. Now we have the ability to breach. So I will breach now. We also have a Steamkin. So if I were to I can also Strike It Rich, save some mana. I think I'll use Flamestoker to get me going. Okay, so the line is a little bit murky here. If I cast Breach, I can cast a number of my draw spells. Kind of hurts not having a Burgy, not gonna lie. Flamestoker is pretty good here. Breach, I would need to play this turn in order to win. So I will do that. We're gonna be just one short on getting the next trigger for Steamkin. I will play Anger, making this big. Exile 3 lands. And we're probably going to have to go to combat here pretty soon. I will just leave these here. I will draw a card. And yeah, so now it's just into combat for me. And we do have to do a pass the turn play, unfortunately. Okay, so we sack Breach. And now we do have to play from our hand. The Steamkin Strike It Rich is pretty good. If I had been able to get Steamkin out a bit earlier, I would have been able to do the thing. But we still should be able to do it now. We have one Wish in the graveyard, and that is fine. So here is a Steamkin. Our first Vindictive Flamestoker is almost is just about free now. It only costs 1. So I'm going to Strike It Rich, and then we're going to start Ancestral Angering until we can find what we need. I don't want a DRC, I want a spell that cantrips. Okay. Here is Ancestral Anger. Let's target... Well, first of all, let's use the mana from a Steamkin to do it. We'll make this one bigger. We want this card. We will cast this card again. No, whoops. I want to make this not able to block this turn. And we have a pretty easy way to victory through combat as well. We have a cantrip on top. And we actually have lethal just in combat, I realize. So I think I'll just attack through and kill my opponent. We'll just cast a spell or 2 more. 10, 13, yeah, no, I don't need to do this since Cavalier can't block. Okay, a little bit extra on the end, but we ended up having it through combat, which, you know, is another way that this deck can win. You know, if we did need to go through with the combo, which was my first priority, we would just be looking at the Vindictive Flamestoker line of drawing cards through that. So, a non-traditional win from the deck this round. Let's move on to round 2. Okay, this hand has both draw power with Vindictive Flamestoker and mana through Steamkin. I keep it. Opponent mulls once. Okay. Here's Flamestoker on turn 1. They shock in to get a Shambling Ghast. Interesting. So, potentially, if they have a way to sack their Shambling Ghast, I'm playing Runaway Steamkin into death here, so I will err on the side of being safe and then just pass through. I can't attack because Shambling Ghast can kill my Flamestoker. They're reading the card. May or may not be targeting it. They pass back, okay. So I'll cast my Steamkin into maybe a counterspell? No, nothing. Then, let's see. All these are sorceries, so I will just hide a mana in Strike It Rich. And then it is a bad idea to attack, so I will not. Next turn. Sorin, okay. So Sorin can kill something. They're gonna put a vampire out. Alright, sure. So I have to discard 1 card. It'll probably just be my land, since I'll easily draw into another one. And so this is surprisingly a mill deck. Okay. Yeah, Lord Xander. Big 7 drop out here. So what is my move here? Horn would be nice to play. However, Burgi does make all these cantrips free, and then I will essentially be just ramping with Steamkin. So I think I just play Burgi first, then I will have the ability to cast 1, 2, 3 more sorceries. How much mana will I have then? So I'll have, after casting this, I'll have 3 mana, 4 mana. It'll just be 4 mana. And then Flamestoker will be at 4. That will actually be enough to activate it. So I'll cast a Burgi. I use my token to play Renegade Tactics, I suppose. So Burgi makes that free now. I do get my land for turn. That's good. Ancestral Anger. Here we go. Make the Steamkin big. And let's Steamkin now. Strike it rich. Strike it rich from the graveyard. Okay, I can strike it rich one more time. And this will set up my next turn with Flamestoker to be pretty good. I could even try to go for it now. Their plus doesn't really do too much. I think I'm going to try to go for it. I'm going to draw 4. We'll Steamkin. We have DRC. Reckless Impulse goes out. We need to hit something good here. A Burgi is not it. Land. We do get a Flamestoker. So I'll have to set up for next turn here, unfortunately. I'm not really trying to pay that much mana for Flamestoker. Okay, so I'll not pass, and I will end my turn. I want to keep my DRC alive. So we've at least built up a board here. We can trade with Lord Xander. He's going to mill half our library. There's a chance that we lose our Breach, and then there's a chance that we don't. We just have to hope that we don't. And then we have to not get 2 wishes and the Breach milled with this trigger. Still very winnable from this position. I have all the mana. I just need my first... Okay, they kill Burgi, so I lose some of my mana. 3 non-land permanents that I control, huh? I'll get rid of my mana. So we're looking okay. I just need to draw into a card. They're gonna kill DRC here, I have to imagine. Yep. Okay. We don't get to know what they find. Could be a fatal push to kill Steamkin. Okay. Kujuka Bog to exile my graveyard. I gotta see what they exiled here. So, not too many things, surprisingly enough. We will do Strike It Rich. Well, let's move into combat first and kill Sorin first of all. Okay, so now Steamkin needs mana, play Strike It Rich, and we're just gonna discount Flamestoker a little bit while saving some mana in treasures. Now Stoker activation costs me 5. I'll need to draw into a 1 mana spell here. And I think I will do DRC first, then next turn can be a Burgi play. I mean, Burgi could even be played now. I do need Burgi on 5, though, for the card advantage. Okay. So I'm going to minus and put another creature out. Okay, I'll make some mana with this. Alright, so now things become a little bit more muddied. I think I probably want a Burgi on the Burgi side, because now I need mana. They're going to put another creature out, sure. Another Xander, okay. I have to discard a mountain again. Okay, here we go. I am back. I'm going to cast a Burgi on 5. or on the 5 mana option. Then next turn I'll be able to draw some mana and we'll be okay. Okay. Xander gets bigger. I'm fine taking the damage. We're down to 18 cards in deck. This is going to be difficult. Have we lost both of our wishes yet? Not yet. Did we mill any of them? Well, that's pretty good. We haven't milled any wishes yet. I'm going to stay alive. Oh, and then the other thing is, where's the breach? That is pretty important. I imagine that has to have been milled by now. Am I missing it? I do not see breach in here. Okay, so breach is still live. Okay, so here we go. I want to play Steamkin first. Start making mana. Or will I be one short? Oh, I'm going to be one short. So, Birgi makes Ancestral Anger free. Steamkin needs a couple more spells cast after it. Steamkin Birgi is 5 mana already, though. Birgi into something. I think I need to Birgi and then eventually hit a Strike It Rich. How many Strike It Riches do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all gone. That's tough. So I gotta play slow. I'm gonna get the Birgi out. We are going to mill yet again a whole crap load of mana. I think I'll activate Harnfell and try to hit a land. Land in 1-drop. Alright, that's what the doctor asked for. Or however that phrase goes. Vindictive Flamestoker, I think I'd love to play it, but at this point I just need to discard it. We are down to 14 cards in hand. Discard Flamestoker. We need to hit a 1-drop here. There we go. And there's the wish. Okay, here we go. A second wish is fine in the library. We'll discard it to Harnfell. Steamkin, discard. We have Crash Through. I'm just keeping these all in the library. Ancestral Anger, make Steamkin big. 8 cards left. Keep it in the library. Harnfell, discard. We need one more thing to do. Here's Breach. This is what we need. Leave all these in the library. Okay, so make some mana. We need to start making... Where are the Striker Riches? Striker Rich with Escape. Getting rid of just 3 random cards. Leave all this in the library. Strike It Riching again from the graveyard. 1, 2, 3. I have 5, 6 mana. I need one more thing to be cast. Warlord's Fury. Not the Strike It Rich. Okay. Leave this in library. We have 4 cards in deck. So now I have 7, 8, 9 mana. Cast Wish. Leave this on the top. Then Wish, we have Tendrils for 11. That is 22. So we need to cast 2 more spells. So here is Crash Through. 1, 2, 3. 12. Storm. Then we just need one more. Ancestral Anger on DRC. And opponent gets out of here. Wow. Just barely was able to do it. I don't know if they got bored and left or if they counted the storm. But we had them right there if I had clicked fast enough. Alright. We won round 2. Let's move on to round 3. Alright, round 3. Yeah, this is a fine start. Got the Steamkin, Flamestoker, DRC. Sweet. DRC. see an elf out of them. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of the devotion deck, so I'll assume that's what I'm playing against. DRC becomes really good here having both of these. Oh, this is the pay any number of times. Interesting. Primal Adversary. Okay. Don't see this card often. So Flamestoker cares specifically about non-creature spells. So I could potentially go off this turn with having a lot of selection through DRC. I'll give it a try. So here's Vindictive Flamestoker. We're going to cast Warlord's Fury and then Surveil 3 times. Strike It Rich does not draw, so I will bin it. Bin. Bin. That's 2 Strike It Riches. I'm gonna bin it. If we get the mana later, we'll be able to do something with it. And, okay, we are not doing anything now. That is a mistaken attack. Thank God our opponent didn't block. I was not even holding up any sort of potential combat trick. So we just kind of got lucky there. That was honestly a mechanical misclick. That's on me. Okay. So this is just a big creature. Big dumb creature. Next turn might need to involve doing Vindictive Flamestoker. We can Strike It Rich. And now we have our draw for next turn set up. Just gotta survive one more. I'm likely to not block. So I can just swing with the intention of taking them off of mana. I don't really need 3 DRCs, most likely. Okay, they go to 11. We don't need much Storm to kill. We'll probably end up with enough Storm anyway if we need to go find the Wish. Okay, so this is just put a bunch of creatures on and then animate lands with Primal Adversary. I'm going to take another 7. Okay, opponent passes turn. So, I'll play Renegade Tactics. Let's make their 3/3 Trampler not able to block. And let's try to Storm this turn. Here we go. We found a draw spell. Okay, here's a draw spell. Make our DRC bigger. Bergie is good here. Then we do have the mana to cast her. Okay, so now Bergie can go out for 5 mana. Yeah, Flamestoker is ready to be utilized. Okay, there's our draw card. Okay, I can play, or I need to draw a card first. Discard. Got a land and the Warlord's Fury. This will go down. Then I will play Warlord's Fury because I need to get mana, of course. So we need to Surveil to a draw card spell. Okay, there it is. Renegade Tactics. Make this not able to block. Okay, now we got Steamkin mana. Don't need a land. Breach is good. Breach is good. Here is Steamkin mana. Now we can Vindictive Flamestoker. We have 2 mana here. That is just enough to get a Breach off, which we actually just discarded. I forgot about that. That's okay. We have Wish in hand now. Renegade Tactics. Just make one of these not able to block. And okay, opponent is seeing that we are getting there. Alright. That was round 3. On to round 4. Alright, we're back with Mono Red Storm in round 4. Here we go against Squee. Double Bergie with Striker Rich DRC. So we potentially have the mana side of things locked down. We don't have the card draw yet, and we don't even have the cantripping. This would be a bit of a slower one, but I will keep it for science. Striker Rich will help us get our Bergie out on time for the most part. We just want to make sure that we get the horn out. Seeing Soul Guide Lantern come down is kind of a issue for us. We'll just need to hope that they use it to get a card out at some point. This could be mono black control. Seeing Hive of the Eye Tyrant definitely suggests control of some type. Black white control, huh? Okay, so we've got Vindictive Flamestoker now, and then a Strike It Rich to try to set up a draw spell after the fact. Opponent is holding up priority probably on Soul Guide Lantern, or they could have removal for DRC. It'd be funny if they have Pact of Negation as their counterspell to remove Flamestoker, but kind of doubting it. I think they're just figuring out if they need to kill something. Okay, so it's a March deck. I'll Strike It Rich here. They're definitely playing as a control player, that's for sure. Okay. Not totally sure what they're on yet. This could be like maybe Yorion in the main deck control. Didn't know people still did that, or ever did that. Okay, so is it a double Strike It Rich turn or a Burgy turn? Is the question. I can get a Harnfell on the following turn, which would be kind of nice, but that would be kind of a pass the turn kind of play, which I imagine they would be able to remove. If that were to happen, then I'd be kind of sad. I think I'd rather just try to Strike It Rich and then get ready for a Burgy into draw spell card. They also have Flamethrower or Flamestoker. Okay. We got them to draw a card with their Soul Guide Lantern. I'll pass. I do need to start emptying my hand. They get 2 damage a turn in on me here. They blowing up the board. Okay. I see you. So land here means that I can play Harnfell, and then next turn I can get Burgy in and then start crashing through. Okay, Tarmogoyf, huh? So this is just white, black, green control. Okay. Or, I guess it's more mid-range. Double Tarmogoyf. That's going to start hurting. This is going to need to look like a combo turn pretty soon. Burgy is almost necessary. Crash Through is mana neutral. I am incentivized to just go mana neutral for right now. I need to search for something that can make me mana. Like, more mana than this. So, I'm just gonna start digging here. We're digging pretty far. There's a Goyf. We got another Flamestoker, so that is a lot of card advantage here. I'm gonna Harnfell, getting rid of my Mountain. Oh, unfortunately that does buff the Tarmogoyfs, huh? So it's a 2-turn clock now. And I can either Flamestoker or Harnfell. I'm going to Harnfell. I'd like to hit a Runaway Steamkin. That is ideal. Okay. Now, next turn, I kind of need to pop off, and they have to have no removal. Okay, I pass turn. I'm set up here. It's just a question of if I can maintain my board. I'm absolutely taking 10 here. And it appears my game has crashed? What's happened? Yep. Alright. Well, I'll be right back once it starts up again. Okay, we're back in. There's the cacophony of noise as we load back into the game. If she does BBQ sauce, I've actually played against this person before. Okay, so looks like I lost my Steamkin. Can Harnfell trying to find another one? Renegade Tactics is a draw. And things are looking pretty tough here. Unfortunately, Steamkin doesn't do anything for me. It would need to be hit off of Harnfell. Or, like, I need to hit the Steamkin off of Harnfell and then have another card. Flamestoker, Wish, land. Wish, does that get me anything? Doesn't appear to. Flamestoker is a blocker for a turn. Strike It Rich can make me some mana. I'm not able to cast most of my killing spells. So maybe we just play it defensive now. We Flamestoker into Strike It Rich. And then, yeah, unfortunately, Wish doesn't do anything. I can Strike It Rich now. Can Strike It Rich one more time, but I'll actually go down in treasures, so that's unfortunate. We passed through. We lost one Wish. Is the other Wish in the graveyard? It is not yet. Extinction event. Is that a one-sided wipe? That it is. Okay, and we are just dead. They had the removal when they needed it, and it kind of crippled us. Alright, so that was round 4. Let's move on to round 5. Alright, time for round 5. We got a Burgi. That's our either mana or draw. Probably mana in this hand. Strike It Rich gets her out on turn 2. And then turn 3 can maybe get something going. Evolve Sleeper. So some other kind of control-ish or control-adjacent game plan. It's just zombies? Actually, none of these are zombies. So just mono black aggro, okay. Do I play Reckless Impulse or Burgi first? If I play... Doesn't really matter how I do it, actually. I'm going to get Burgi out now. Burgi can at least block. Next turn I can Reckless Impulse and try to hit a land, too, if I need. Yeah, if Reckless Impulse hits a land, then I can start cantripping off of these cards. There's also Strike It Rich to go mana neutral. Actually, Strike It Rich is mana positive now, so it's good to do. Yeah, so as long as Reckless Impulse hits a land, I've got 4 more spells that I can cast. This does mean that Burgi needs to survive this turn. I'll take whatever damage they throw at me. I don't want them to give this thing Death Touch. They might kill Burgi after combat, but so be it. Yeah, they're holding priority with something. It's not this. No, it is Evolve Sleeper. Wait, no, this goes as a sorcery, doesn't it? Oh, maybe it doesn't. Okay. Okay, so they conjure Blood Artist. Alright, here's Reckless Impulse. Needs to find a land. Actually, no, it doesn't, because Burgi makes a mana. We get our land anyway. I want to set up with a Steamkin. Now we have Strike It Rich to make a mana. We have Ancestral Anger to make Burgi bigger. We can at least attack in this turn. We get Breach as well here. I'm gonna start drawing. We have just enough mana to make a Burgi on 5 and just set up for next turn. That seems pretty attractive to me. Plus there's Breach in Graveyard. Or there's Breach now. We have only 5 cards. I'm going to keep going here and see if Steamkinning here gets me anywhere. Okay, so Flamestoker is good. This helps with the storm aspect of things. Now I can cast Burgi on Harnfell. We are going to Harnfell away the mountain. We get another Steamkin. I can do Steamkin and Breach. Okay, so here's Breach. Alright, so now we got to make some mana with you. I want to Reckless Impulse now. Get rid of 3 of these things. I want to actually get rid of one of the Strike It Riches for now. No, that is going to need to be used to make mana if we combo finish this turn. Okay. Need a 1-drop. We do have Ancestral Anger. Make Birgi bigger. Okay, we're really going to go down here in terms of cards. Okay, so we have Wish now. Steamkin can go. Here's Faithless Looting. We're just probably discarding 2 non-Wish cards. Nice, 2 mountains is perfect. Make some more mana. Now Flamestoker can be gotten rid of. Well, actually, I can probably do another Ancestral. Getting rid of these 2, and I don't need Faithless Looting. I gotta keep in mind that I want to cast this Strike It Rich. Okay. I'm going to discard Mountain. We get a Flamestoker only. That's not great. So I have a second Wish in the graveyard. Or in the deck, rather. Get another Flamestoker out. I'm going to have to draw with this one. So I might as well discard Wish. Oh yeah, Wish can be cast from the graveyard anyway. I don't know why I was worried about that. So I can make Birgi bigger again. Make some more mana. Okay, and we've stormed enough for the opponent to say they're out of here. We did it. That was round 5. We got 2 more to go. We'll see if one of these opponents actually allows us to put a Tendrils onto the stack. Here we go. Okay, we hit round 6. We have so much mana in this hand potentially with Runaway Steamkin. I'll keep it. Steamkin can go on 2, then another Steamkin on 3, and an Ancestral Anger after that. Now this is going to be a hard matchup because our stuff's just going to get bolted away. Bummer. Well, let's start getting pulled apart by the Soulscar Mage deck. This is going to be a hard one to survive through. We get a Vindictive Flamestoker out and a Steamkin. Should have done that in the reverse order. Likely to not really matter in this game, though. I think I'm not feeling too optimistic about the matchup. Opponent, I have to hope will just put Flamestoker out. Okay, they do not fall for that. Soulscar Mages are going to do their thing. I will take 4. And, yeah, I suppose I will just start making the Flamestoker able to attack. We have just so many lands in hand, which is not good. Crash through. Warlord's Fury. Alright, a lot of cards in the bin now. Unfortunately, drew a bunch of lands. We'll see if the opponent can just kill us this turn. With enough burn, I mean, they can cast conceivably 3 to 4 burn spells. Okay, Chandra's another thing they could have in here. Not commonly played in the Wizard deck, as far as I'm aware. Okay, so my creature's dead, and I'm getting hit for 6 this turn. I'm thinking that it's not looking too good for me. I think we are unfortunately getting tempoed out, and with 4 lands in hand, not a chance in heck that we're coming back from this. They found their Layla to boot. And, yeah. Light up the stage as well. They probably can just kill me here. It's going to take them 1 turn. I will save us both the time and go ahead and concede. Alright, so just a tough matchup there. Anything with a lot of single target creature removal that is efficient really can just hamstring this deck. Alright, so that was round 6. We have round 7 coming up. Let's go. Okay, this is not a great hand for me. DRC's nice, Birgi's nice. Breach is kind of a dead card. Well, this does have the selection. I'll try it. DRC is really nice to have. I think I will hold on to Crash Through. This is going to be a turn 4 play. Opponent on green-white. No idea what they could be doing. We've drawn our 5th land in 8 cards. 9 cards, rather. Okay. Opponent just seems to have a 3-drop. No interaction on 2. Based on the way they pass priority. What's happening? Abundant Harvest. Okay. Kind of unsure where they're going with this. I will start to do my own thing and just get cards out of my deck. Don't want another mountain. I've had too many of those. Ancestral Anger, I am happy to make DRC a bit bigger. Just to spread out my attack. Got another card draw ability here. And so I'm looking for a Steamkin here. I need to be able to accelerate my mana. Okay, DRC just helping us find things to do. And, you know, eventually we'll be able to do this Underworld Breach. I can flashback Strike It Rich. We can get a land off of our deck as well. Okay, so this is a hit for 5. Got Breach as well. Looking at a board wipe next turn, I'm just not going to be happy, but, you know, if it happens, then whatever. Wrath of God, right here. Bam. Pretty much that. Non-land permanents, eh? I will put you both back in my hand then. I can get Harnfell out of Bergie now. Let's just, I guess, commit both of these back to the board in the same way that they were. I do get a Faithless Looting, which is good to replace these 2 lands that were stuck in my hand. We find yet another land here, which is insane. I'm going to start doing Ancestral Anger on my turn. Let's give it to DRC. Another draw spell. And we're kind of just waiting for a turn where the opponent taps out, leaving us with our stuff, and I can cast a Underworld Breach and just go off. So, I mean, this is really just a setup turn where I try to draw into a what is the name of the creature that I'm thinking of? A Runaway Steamkin. Don't want the mountain. And we drew the land. Okay, so that is the end of this turn for me. And we kind of just keep staring at our opponent here, slowly waiting for them to do more stuff to us. Devastating Mastery, huh? Questing Beast is not even an issue to us. They're mostly tapped out here. So if there ever was a time, it is now to combo. The best thing to rip would just be to find a Steamkin right now. Warlord's Fury, not quite it. I will do it. We have Faithless Looting in the bin just in case we draw another land and need to flash back that card. I don't want to Strike It Rich at this time. Just really need that other card. This is okay to do, just setting me up for next turn. I think I want to swap these out for a Galvanic Relay in a later build of this deck. We'll definitely return to this at some point. Vindictive Flamestoker is worth going down.
And it is essentially free with Bergie, of course. Renegade Tactics. Let's make Questing Beast not be able to block. So we have Breach, Faithless Looting if we need it. Opponent thinking. Flamestoker is about to be our draw engine. And I think the opponent just alt F forward. Maybe not. Hard to tell. Got our Steamkin. That's huge. So now I just breach and try to take the victory here. Do we have a Wish in the graveyard yet? We do not. Here is Underworld Breach. Okay, we got 27, 21 in deck. Or 21 in deck, 21 in graveyard, so I'm feeling good. Okay, I'd like to have that in hand. Okay, so here we go. Renegade Tactics. Let's just start getting in here. I also do want to strike it rich with Escape. Get rid of the mountains first, and all of the draw card spells are mostly the same in terms of the functionality that we're looking for here. Okay, let's just get that Wish into hand. This is fine. I will play Warlord's Fury. 1, 2... Oh wait, I need this for another mana. Okay. 14. Alright. Draw that. This gets to go out. Whoops, need to use my Steamkin mana first. We are going to be kind of tight on mana. Should have it here though, as soon as we get the Wish. That's all we need. I will start using the Ancestral Angers first, just to make sure that I can do some damage. Here's another Ancestral Anger. Make Bergie big. Opponent making this take a little longer. I imagine they just alt F forward and they're going to come back later. I'm going to bin this so that I can cast it again later. Vindictive Flamestoker is fine. It does make mana. We are down to 23 cards in deck. Okay, make some mana with you. Where is my Strike It Rich? Before I forget, I need to do this once more. I will get rid of the other Strike It Rich and the non-Ancestral Anger cantrips. Down to 14 cards in deck again, or in graveyard rather. Storm is significant, or is high enough that we will make it. Okay, so Ancestral Anger on DRC this time. And we are getting pretty close to being able to have enough damage just straight up on board. Okay. Draw another card. We are just sat here waiting for our Wish, and there it is. Make some mana. We're going to cast Wish. That's fine, and then I'm going to cast my Wish. We're going to get a Tendrils of Agony and target our opponent. And there it is. The Tendrils of Agony is on the stack. I'm flicking through all the copies. And wow, look at our beautiful stack. Just absolutely full of Tendrils triggers. You love to see it. In Game 7, we were finally able to do the thing as it was once envisioned. Beautiful. Alright, so that was Mono Red Storm. With Vindictive Flame, whatever the heck that card is called, this deck gets a whole lot more interesting. I think that this deck does have some legs. It can kind of do things. It definitely is a bit brittle though, because if one of the important pieces is removed, such as the Steamkin, then you are really stuck out in the water. Yeah, but at any rate, that was the deck. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, please give me a like. If you enjoyed and want to see more, subscribe, and you'll see stuff every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, plus extra days when I have bonus content. That's it for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.